Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Let me show you my bag of ponies while we select something to work on a slightly different project. I got most of these ponies from eBay as baits or ponies that need some help. And I was thinking I want to do a custom because we have been doing some restorations. So I found a few candidates that we can work on for the next projects. So this is maybe a little preview and you can give me ideas if you have any. But for today I was looking for a pony that was a bit round because I need surface for painting. So I thought this Snazzle was a good choice. It's not in terrible condition, but it's quite a common pony and it doesn't have any leftover hair or anything, so I think we are okay to customize it fully. All we need to do is, well, put the head back in its place and we'll do this by using a trusty pen. If you encounter this problem, recommend it. Put the pony in some hot water, it will get softer and this will be easier, but I always choose the right now way rather than the best way. But in any case, let's do some cleaning, prepare this space, and then I will tell you a little bit about why this project and how this project. Okay, so why this pony or why this custom? So my sister and my niece were visiting for the holidays and my niece wanted to paint a pony. She wanted to make her first big custom for a G1 and she wanted to do a Princess Luna. I unfortunately don't have pictures of it, but I gave her my acrylic pens and said, well, maybe we can try these. And the result was so incredible that I thought, I have to copy her. I'm actually going to even use the same color for the base. Thank you, Kitty. Usually when doing a custom, I will use acrylic paints and paint the whole body, do lots of layers, water down layers. However, I realized that the pens I will show you a bit later are incredibly useful for this. But let's briefly talk about what is happening right now. If you have seen the restorations, this part of the process is very similar. We want to clean the pony of all dirt and symbols, so we have a blank canvas. And the best way to do this is with acetone. I use 100% pure acetone. You can also use nail polish as long as it's made of the same component. And the only thing to be careful is, first, that the acetone will erase any paint, so symbols and eyes, if you go over them. And the second one is that you should not breathe the fumes of the acetone, because we are using more quantities that you will normally use for your nails. So if you saw the thumbnail, I'm thinking now that maybe you haven't seen it if this autoplays. But in any case, this custom pony is inspired by, let's first say how most people know it, Vincent van Gogh, or as he would be known to his Dutch friends, Vincent van Gogh. I am so sorry, Dutch viewers. Spanish speakers have a very strong I'm not sure if this is the same. I mean, no offense. I love the Netherlands and I can't wait to go again. In fact, I really want to go to the museum, to the Van Gogh Museum. Anyway, so the inspiration for today's custom is the Starry Night. This is probably one of Vincent's most renowned paintings, or also considered like one of the most beautiful ones, or his magnus opus. However, and I will tell you a bit more about this when we start painting, the story behind it is a little unexpected if you're not familiar. But what I want to mention before we do any painting or anything like that is that this pony is just very loosely inspired by the Starry Night. Well, obviously, I will never dream of comparing like anything I do with anything Vincent has done. But maybe in a way, the feeling behind it is not entirely, how to say it, separated from some of the feelings that many artists and people that do things feel. This is very vague. I feel like I shouldn't have opened this box, but now we are in it. I think this will make more sense when I tell you how this painting, the original painting, was created in the first place. Let's just say that I had been working on a lot of projects that felt more like a responsibility, a beautiful responsibility, but a responsibility, and I wanted to do something that was just pretty and free, and this is why I want to reiterate that this is very loosely inspired by a type of art that I find very human, I guess. A type of art that is not masking. I didn't want to mask today. I want it to be. Next step. Alright, let's talk materials now. Enough with the disconnected thoughts. For the base, I'm going to be using these specific acrylic pens. or markers. They were originally given to me for free a few months ago, I'm not gonna lie. However, I have chosen to use them again and then again and again because honestly, there is no other product I will choose to do a custom now. To paint smaller details, yes, maybe just the normal paint and some miniature brushes, but for this, oh my god, this saved so much time and the coverage is so great, you can see here. And I do offer a discount code because the people that gifted them to me also gave me a code if anyone else wants to buy, but I don't get anything from any sales, so I want to be very clear about this, that this is just my personal opinion. I love this pen. And you can see here how well the cover, like normally if you use acrylic paints for the base, you will have to do at least like 3, 4, even 5 layers, watered down layers, and it doesn't really stick that well in my experience. But this is nice proof. So let's keep painting and I will tell you just a little bit about the original painting and about Vincent. We're not going to go into too much detail, and this is not going to be a sad video, but a celebration of one of the most unique men and someone that I think perfectly encapsulates what it is to live and to struggle and to create. So as I said, this is actually based on a real view. It was a view that Vincent had from his bedroom in the asylum, where he had self-admitted after he struggled with his mental health. Now, because the asylum was half empty at this time, Vincent was actually given a couple of rooms. And it's really interesting because when he wrote to his brother, he mentioned a couple of other paintings saying kind of, oh, they're kind of okay, maybe everything else, meh, not good. And within that everything else was actually Starry Night. And we don't know too much about it. We know that Vincent called it a night study and that the following year he will call it a failure. Oh, Vincent. But he also wrote about a potential other dimension existing in the sky, and he said it would be so simple and would account so much for the terrible things in life which now amaze and wound us so if life had yet another hemisphere. And I think it's this idea of amazement and wounding that I find so human and relatable. Have you had enough of my voice? No! Okay, let me tell you one more thing about Starry Night. And I'm only doing this because of peer pressure, because you keep saying that you don't mind me talking, and when I get excited I don't know when to stop. So I was reading a few like theories around the painting and like interpretations, and I think that as it happens with many things, a lot of meaning was added after the fact of the painting. But this happens in life too. This is what I wanted to say, that sometimes you create something or you do something and in the moment you don't really know why you did it, it just happened, and then as time passes things kind of start to make sense in a bigger way. I don't know how to explain it. You know how we sometimes romanticize memories, and yeah, in the moment we're just living, and then when we look at the past we feel with such like intensity and we interpret things. We are very symbolic animals, and we also do this with other people's creations. So lots of people have put their own feelings and their own interpretations into Starry Night. I found some of them like really interesting, so I will tell you a couple. For example, Mayor Shapiro says that the Starry Night was created under the pressure of feeling, which I really like that saying, and that it is a visionary painting inspired by a religious mood. Now, visionary, definitely. The religious mood, Vincent was very clear that this was not a religious painting. However, I don't know how to say this, Sven Lovgren also said that Van Gogh was religiously inclined, had a religiously inclined longing for the beyond. Oh, sorry, Van Gogh. And there are lots of discussions and debates and symbolisms, like I said. But one that I really liked is that it also belongs to Shapiro, is that it represents Vincent's own striving for the infinite through non-orthodox channels. Now, in terms of style, I'm not an art historian, but I think this definition of post-impressionism is quite a good fit. It says post-impressionists extended impressionism while rejecting its limitations. They continued using vivid colors, sometimes using impasto and painting from life, but were more inclined to emphasize geometric forms, distort form for expressive effect, and use unnatural or modified color. So yeah, that's roughly what I wanted to share about the Starry Night. There is a lot to say about Vincent and his life and his struggles too. But for this video, I just wanted to maybe express kind of the feeling I was having when I came up with this idea of doing a Van Gogh body. Obviously, if you haven't seen his work, I fully recommend you take a look. There are so many incredible paintings, and there are also letters, and the history, his relationship with his brother is very interesting. Also, how if it wasn't for his brother's wife, we would have never seen his paintings. And there is one incredible source that you might have seen already. If not, please do. If you have, then maybe watch again. Let's watch it again. And it's the Doctor Who episode on Vincent. It's so incredibly beautiful. Anyway, I will now leave you with some music. I decided to use kind of the same library I used in the last 2 videos, I think it was, because it works really well, and maybe we can make this the channel music. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you for a little surprise. You can see the timestamp here, because this is not the only pony I worked on this week. And for the first time, you can actually get one of the channel ponies. Okay, see you soon. oh, here is the pony, and here is the other pony. That's right, I made two ponies, Vincent and Theo. And while I am keeping Theo, Vincent will go up for sale in a charity auction. And eBay has a limited number of charities I can work with, so I chose the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals because Vincent loved nature and he loved animals. So the listing will be live when this video goes live. So if you want to own this pony, you can do so and help a little cause in the meantime. And if you like this model, I'm happy to like try more because this helps me maintain the channel and it helps a charity and it helps, I don't know, you, whoever you are, if you like the ponies, to have one of your own. So to thank you for watching, here is Tommy, who is also a supporter of RSPCA and agrees that all animals should be respected and treated with kindness and compassion. Everyone should be treated with kindness and compassion. Even the spare human here recording this, because we all know his favorite is John, my partner, but Tommy's true love of his life. Anyway, thank you so much for participating if you do, or thank you for watching, which I'm guessing you are because you're listening to me. Oh my god. Yeah, anyway, song again, and I'll see you for the results. Thank you. The channel art of the day was made by Fox and Edie's Brazilian Gusty from the last video. Thank you so much, folks. Love it. And thank you all the patrons that allow me to do this. With a very, very special mention to our VIP ponies, B Vintage, Sarah LaChapelle, Elizabeth Magana, Terry G, Awkward Burb, Becca Region, and Orion Bucantis. And now it's time to see the results. So this is what the pony looked like initially. This is our little Generation 1 Snazzle, who was eager to volunteer herself for a custom. And after some cleaning and some painting, here is our little Vincent custom with the hair very simply styled as to not take away from the rest of the colors. I would love to know your opinion on this pony and on its brother Theo. And of course, like I mentioned, if you're watching this at the moment it's coming out live, you have about a week to make your bid and get this pony no matter where you are in the world. So I hope you enjoyed the process, and I will see you very soon for the next one, which is already in progress. So again, thank you so much for your support. Have a great week. Bye bye!